wanted to come on and talk to you guys about something that I'm extremely excited about, and it's going to be the AI paper, the ViWoods AI paper beta update, the version 3.15.6. One of the major things is going to be multi-tablet sync. So that's one of the major things that was brought to the platform. One of the big things that we've been looking for with this platform. Once they get multi-tablet sync down packed, I think that the AI paper platform is now really there. I don't want to say it's number one, but I do think it's at the top. I think you have to put this platform within the top 3 or 4 tablets in e-ink in that discussion right now. I don't know which one is number one. You know, you guys know I really don't like doing that, but I do think this pushes that tablet closer to the top or the platform. So we're going to talk about it today. I made a mistake. I didn't sign both of my tablets up for the beta. So my mini is on the beta, but my full size is not. But that works out pretty good because that's going to allow me to show you guys some different use cases or some differences in the two softwares. These last 2 software updates that we got from the AI paper platform have brought some good significant changes that I think are going to help a lot of people be more productive, be more organized, and just enjoy the user experience of the AI paper platform. So we're going to talk about it. Now, it was a lot, so we're not going to cover everything in this one live. I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of things that I'm truly excited about outside of the multi-tablet sync. The other one is going to be the changes in organization and how you can use your information on tablet. And a lot of that is going to be how you can interact with the paper app, with your memos, with your meeting app, other places on the tablet that I work out of, that at one time I had an issue with trying to organize information all in the same place. All right, so here we have the AI paper and the AI paper mini. Now, the updates on the mini, it's not on the full-size AI paper, but that's fine. And I'll show you guys some cool things about this new software, the beta that has released. I got some notes over here, but we'll also use this to kind of show you guys some of the new things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hop in our paper app and we're going to grab random information here on the mini. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the last update. The AI paper platform brought us the ability to add these marks and to add a outline, table of content, whatever you want to call it. And that's what looks like that over here. So of course, you guys remember we had our marks over here where we kind of use those like a header, where when you select those with your selection tool, it's going to bring up that mark, which will allow you to index that information out, right? Well, also we had the outline, and I did not build an outline on that one. So yes, we'll build an outline right quick. So now that we have that built, in the previous version of the software, you could build that outline, you could edit that outline, and you could jump to it. That's all you could do. There wasn't any way for you to have a sub outline with the new update. As you guys can see over here, when we go to our outline, now we're going to have the ability to have sub outline. You have the option to add child. And so when you do that, you can add to the outline. And so whatever I add to this portion of the outline is going to come up here, and it's going to be like that sub outline. So that's what we have here. We have our main outline, and then you have the ability now to add that sub outline. So you have the main outline, and then you have the ability to add that sub outline. Of course, you still have all of the functionality with your marks. Whenever you make your marks, you can still use those kind of like headers, but they definitely gave us the ability in our papers app to have outlines and sub outlines, which is pretty cool. So as you guys know, I like using memos. The memos for me are a quick way for me to jot down some quick information, whatever I have going on. I like using the memo section. And so they've done some cool things within the memo section. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a memo here, and I'm going to show you guys the difference and how you can kind of interact with that information here. Let's look at this. Let's say this is a memo. Let's say I've been writing down some notes. I'm in a meeting. I wrote down some quick notes, some flight information, some travel plans, whatever that is. One of the new things with this platform now is that at first I only just had one page of memos. I couldn't advance to any pages. There was no page view. Of course, I could favorite something. I could make something a to do. I could share it. But with my share options, I was just, limited to the QR code, the email, the transfer, Bluetooth, and of course, internal storage to just save it somewhere in the internal storage. Well, with the new update, that's changed a little bit, and we have a couple of more options that I like, to be honest with you. So the first one here is going to be able to go to our menu. One thing is going to be the multi-page view. The multi-page view is something new because you can actually add multiple pages to your memos now. So if I'm on page 1 and I need more than one page, I can simply advance to another page. And now I have a second page of notes for memos. Something else that's cool within your memo app is now your smart lasso tools work inside of your memo app. So you guys know I like to go get eggs for Sweetie. At one point, your memo note, if we look at the old software, you didn't have too many choices with your smart lasso. Matter of fact, I think it only erases over here. Let's see. Okay, nope. So you didn't have too many choices with your smart lasso. You had AI, you had cut, you could copy, and then of course you could delete. Those were your choices with the previous software. But now with this one, at the site of selection, we have a couple of more choices. So now you guys see, not only do we have our AI, but I can create an event. I can create a to-do as well, directly from my memo app. So if I want to make this an event, I can make it an event. If I want to make it a new task, I can make it a new task. And then I just hit confirm, and it's going to roll over with all of my tasks from the previous day. And what's cool about this is just like if you're creating this in the paper app, you can always jump back to that memo note when you want to get ready for it. Also, you can create an event from any information that you have in your memos like we just saw. So if I wanted to also make getting eggs an event, when we go to AGB, it's always an event. So I can turn that into an event instead of just a to-do. It'll take me to the calendar. Once I have all of my information in that I want, I'm going to hit confirm just like normal. And it's going to take us there, and it's going to turn that into an event. Now, the third thing I'm going to show you guys, which is cool when you look at the memos. Like I said, I use the memo app a lot for a lot of notes at work. And then from there, I will sometimes use those notes for the project. So whatever that bigger project is that I'm using in the Notes app, in the last version of the software, I didn't have too many options with using that information. So it would just kind of be there for quick sticky note type situations. Well, now I have some options. Let's say we go here, I go to multi-page view. Let's say I want to take just this page of my notes and I want to move them to my paper app because I want to add them to the notebook inside of paper that has more information in it. Well, I can do that now. So from here, I'm going to select my page. I'm going to go to share. Now, if I wanted to share all 2 of these pages or all 6 of these pages within the memo app, I could have done that. But instead, we're just going to choose that one. Now, I can choose how I want to share it. If I want it to be a PNG file or a PDF. And of course, we have our normal options, but now we have 2 new options that we didn't have over here. That is going to be the paper app and the learning app. So you have the opportunity to share this PDF not only in your paper app to organize with the rest of the information that you would have, let's say for this subject or this project or whatever it is that you're working on, but you also can throw it in the learning app as well. I select paper. It's going to send this thing to the paper app, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. And what's cool is you can do this not only with the memo, but you also can do this with meetings, and you can send them both to the paper app or the learning app. So we're just going to hop in our paper app. And this is that memo that we had in the memo app. We sent it over to the paper app. It's going to land in the paper app like a PDF. And then from there, I can annotate. I can take more notes if I want to. Having it exported as a PDF, what it allows you to do is also I can now save this with the rest of my information. So I can select that. And then from there, I can go to move. And from there, I can select where I want it to go. So I want it to go here and I want it to save there. And now it's going to save that information in that same folder. So now I have this PDF that I brought over from my memo app. I have it saved with the rest of the information that I have here. That is just something I couldn't do from the latest update before the beta, which the crazy thing is, this was a great software update that the AI paper platform gave us a month or so ago. But like with this information here, there's just nothing. I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't make any of those moves from the memo app with the information to the paper app or to the learning app. You just couldn't do it. You could write your notes. You could use AI, which is great. But outside of that, I couldn't do anything else outside of share this to my internal storage. I could share it off via QR code, which is what I would do. I would use the QR code and I would share that off for my iOS to-dos. You could also email it, but you couldn't do the internal storage. And that's pretty cool that you have the opportunity here with the new software, not only from the memo app, but you can also do this from the meetings app, guys. A lot of cool stuff going on with the AI paper platform. I'm very excited about. Next couple of days, I'm going to make some full videos to show you guys how I'm using these new updates, how you can use them, what workflows you can work if you have different workflows that you want to use. This is going to be good for people who are a part of the AI paper ecosystem already. And let's say you do have a multi-tablet system, you have both the mini and the full size. So if you have both the mini and the full size like I do, and you use both of them, this new update is going to give you multi-tablet sync, which is something we've been waiting for a while, which gives you the opportunity to, use both your tablets here in tandem. If you're someone who only is a one tablet user and you have either the mini or the full size AI paper tablet, this update is beneficial for you as well because it's given us a lot of functionality now. It's given us some better organization. It's given us ways to use our information that we're building on tablet in different ways. You have options to share information between your meetings app and your paper app now. You have options to share those memo notes that you've made. You can share them now to the paper app to be able to work on projects or add that to your organization. You can even move your memo notes that you've built inside of your calendar app. So when you write a memo in the calendar app, you also can move that to your paper app.